Hi everybody, welcome to Yoga with Anadil. I am Anadil. Thank you so much for joining me today for our yoga to help you shine. Today we'll be focusing on sending our core energy, our core focus through the entire body to the fingertips, through to the toes, all the way through to the crown of the head, so we begin to gain full body awareness as we move through our practice today. And all of this will help you shine from tip to toe. So please join me and I'll see you there in a moment. So let's begin by sitting on our mats, and please sitting any way that's comfortable for you, because we're just going to spend a moment or two settling in to our bodies so that we can be a little bit more mindful as we move into the practice. So once you're comfortable, allow the hands to rest with the palms up so that your shoulders can drop, your elbows can rest. As we close our eyes and feel for which parts of your legs are connected to the earth, and gently press into here to lift a little taller through the spine. Breathing easy so that we begin to recognize that the experience within this body, maybe even the experience of residing in this body as we breathe. Softening and slowing the breath, widening through the ribs, just slowing everything down so that we may pay attention to how we're feeling. And then let's blink open the eyes. As we draw our next breath in, let's reach the fingertips up with the palms facing forward and your thumbs and fingertips really spreading wide. You can take the option to bend through the elbows if you prefer. And just settle in with your shoulders just for a moment. And then let's begin to open and clench through the fists. And every time you open, allow the thumbs and the pinky fingers to spread as widely as you can manage. And pay attention to your breath and keep it slow, keep it smooth. Now with that breath remaining in its rhythm, let's begin to speed up the open and clenching of our hands. And the breath may want to follow, but allow the breath to remain in that original smooth rhythm. Keep going. Maybe the arms are feeling a little bit more shiny and alive. Feel like you're sending sparkles through the fingertips as you're doing this. Faster still. And release as you breathe out with your hands down to the earth. So let's come onto all fours with your hands underneath shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, and just get nicely aligned so that there's space in the torso. And once you feel at your strongest and stable here, we'll sweep the right leg out to the right side. And see how it feels to seal the sole of the foot down onto the earth and stand out of your shoulders here. And on your next in-breath, please sink your spine down towards the earth, lift your heart up in front of you and your tailbone up. So our spine is in the cow posture. And wait for your next out breath. And as you breathe out, curl the tailbone down, draw the chin to chest. Separate through the shoulder blades as you lift. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in into your cow posture, and breath out into your cat posture. As you breathe in, come to neutral and make sure you're pressing into your fingertips, get into your foot and your knee, and notice where the weight may be heavier, and let's try to get as equal as you can in the foundation. So my weight is actually more in my hands at the moment, so I'm just going to shift a little bit of weight into my knee and into my foot. And from here, you can stay there if you like, or you can walk your fingertips forward, spread through the fingers and the thumb and pinky especially, just like we did before. And this could be enough, so keep reaching the hips back to lengthen through the armpits, and keep the back of the neck long too. Stay here and breathe. And if you have it available to you, you can sink your forehead and bow it down onto the earth. And all the while we're thinking about our core, so lift your belly up towards your navel. And as you breathe out, press all of the fingers down, press all of the toes down, front and back, and try to get equal in the weight of your fingers and your toes once again. A couple of more breaths, breathing in and out. Maybe even pulsing up a little bit and down a little bit with each breath. Keeping the kneecaps and the quads lifted, so we're active from core to our tips, shining your energy brightly. Now let's walk those fingertips back so they're underneath our shoulders. And you have two options here. We'll lift through the left arm and we're going to thread the needle so that we rest onto our shoulder. So you can sweep all the way through until your shoulder meets the ground, and you press this hand deeply into the earth, and you press your right hand firmly for support. Now if this feels too heavy in your shoulders for you, you can lift upright and bring that arm across your body to stretch into your shoulder this way. Whichever version you're doing, the outstretched arm is alive. And here we take focus to our foundations once again. So getting equal, even though our body is asymmetric, we get equal in all of the foundations that we can find. Equal weight, equal effort, equal pressure, and we breathe in. And imagine that light shining through to the crown of the head, engaging and livening the feet, the hands, and the breath. If you'd like a little bit more, you can walk your right fingertips forward for a bit more space. Maybe even over your head a little bit as you breathe. And just enjoy the space for a moment, remembering there's not too much weight in the head. Most of the weight is in the arms and the knee and the legs. Keeping space in the breath. And then bring your top hand, your right hand, underneath your elbow for support. Bringing both hands underneath you as you bring both knees underneath you. And immediately we'll sweep over to the left side. And see how it feels for you here. aiming to keep the hips stacked over the knee, stretching out this leg as much as you are comfortable with. Keep lifting through that kneecap and see how it feels to seal the sole of the foot down onto the earth. And as you breathe in, let's cat-cow through the back, taking the shoulder heads behind you. And as we breathe out, curling the spine up, keep pressing the toes all the way into the earth, back and front. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in. So we're not locking any joints here, keeps the joints subtle so that we don't stagnate. We want to shine that energy, so we don't want to block it through locked joints. We want to keep it all flowing with the breath. So reaching the fingertips forward now, and just be mindful of where the weight in the hips tend to fall when you're doing this. So just align and balance as much as you can through the fingers, through the toes, through left and right. Find that floaty feeling where everything feels as equal as it can be on the ground. Now keep the back of the neck long. Stay here if that feels enough. Otherwise, you can bow your forehead and rest it onto the earth. Keep the muscles engaged, keep them alive, and let them shine brightly. Feel the fingertips, feel the toes as you breathe. And let's come on up, bringing the hands underneath our shoulders once more. So this time we're going to lift through the right hand, and you have the option to open through the shoulder in an upright position if you prefer. Otherwise, let's sweep the right hand through, thread the needle, and then make sure that arm is engaged so it's not asleep. You could almost just float your head up away from the ground, but the arm is engaged. And we're pressing into the supporting arm, the supporting legs, and try not to rest your belly on any part of the thigh, so just lift through the navel as you breathe. And one side may feel different to the other, so see how you get on here. And think about that light shining in your belly as you breathe. And you have the option to walk your left fingertips forward, or maybe even further, walk them like little spiders over your head towards the left hand side. Keep the supporting arm active so there's not so much weight in the head, and get equal with the breath. And just enjoy this stretch. Think about this left hip and move it towards the back so you have more space opening up through the sides of the ribs. And you breathe here, walking the fingertips back underneath the elbow for support. Big breath, engaging the legs, pushing the ground away so that you can lift as you come up onto your hands. Bringing your left knee underneath you, underneath the hips, back into your tabletop position. So from here, I'll just turn to the side. From here, we'll curl the toes under, and you can stay in your box position and cat-cow to stretch the back further, or you can lift into your down dog. So let's bend through the knees so that we can straighten and lengthen the back a little bit more. And maybe even bend the knees perhaps a little bit more than you usually would, just so we're getting a deep, deep connection. It's like you want to rest your belly onto your thighs. And here you press into your fingertips. Big breath in. Think about that light in your belly. And as you breathe out, sending it all the way to the fingertips, all the way to the feet. Spread the toes and shine it through the heart. Let it pour out through the crown of the head as you rest into your down dog position. Press into your fingers so much so that most of the weight comes out of the wrists as you breathe. Let's walk the fingertips back. So the feet are hip distance apart. The knees are generously bent, again resting the belly onto the thighs. And you can rest your hands onto the earth for support. If you're comfortable here, you can take opposite elbows, maybe even hug the thumbs into the insides of the elbows, and then use those thumbs to draw the forearms down towards the earth. So you're creating length in the back, space in the back as you breathe. Big breath in. Fill on up through the belly. Release it down, let it go. One more time, big breath in. Let it go. Let's place the hands onto the earth and just shuffle the feet so that they are hip distance apart, if not already. And we'll place the hands underneath the shoulders and maybe use fingertips to support ourselves. You can use your two peace fingers to ground to the earth. Dropping the hips down so that you're sitting in a chair, bringing the hips down in line with the heart and the head. So really lift the crown forward, keep the back of the neck long, taking the tailbone back as you sit into your chair. Big breath in, lift the belly away from the thigh a little bit. And next breath in, keep low in your seat, but lift your navel and your heart at the same time. Pick up that light, playful balloon as you keep sitting and lifting through the heart. Breathe. Now think about that energy, that light in the core, and send it all the way to your toes, into your heels and through your fingertips. Breathe. And lift on up, reach on up, shine brightly as your hands reach down to the earth. Bring your hands to heart center and just close your eyes. Using that full body awareness from your fingers pressing into each other, the thumbs pressing into the heart, shining that light all the way out through the heart to the toes, lifting that energy, that light through the body as you breathe in, all the way up through to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, let that shine, that light shine brightly down through the shoulders, the back, and into the heels. Yes. And take the opportunity to get equal between your toes and your heels and your left and your right. Relaxing through the shoulders, relaxing through the elbows. More subtle through your breathing. So you're breathing. And just feel this experience of being in your body. Let your light shine brightly. And then blink open your eyes. And keep that sense of mindfulness, of full body awareness, from top to toe, shining in your body as you sparkle throughout your day. I hope to see you next time. Thank you. Namaste.